Hey everyone, I'm MyTyme to WWE Supercard and welcome to another episode. Sorry it's been a while, I've been ill over the weekend, I have barely played any games at all. I just about got my Brie card, which we'll come to at the moment. But there have been a few announcements, and for most of you, you'll already know this from other YouTubers, but just in case you don't, there's a new WrestleMania Flash event happening now. Compete to win a new John Cena card and a special 48-hour ring domination. This is a Survivor event card. You can see the stats on the screen. He will be stronger than any of the other event cards that we've had so far. And he's a right arrow card, which is going to mean another compatible tag. So that's just going to make King of the Ring super fun for all of us guys in Survivor. Yay! Anyway, enough of that for the moment. So that is what we are playing for. Very quickly before we come to that, I will show you my Brie that I did manage to get with 5 or 10 minutes to go. I spent about 4.5 hours on Sunday evening to complete her. I was on Epic until then, or the Epic card, which was Xavier Woods. And yeah, so I did manage to get her. Let's go to Combinable and Survivor. So my first one's done, the second one isn't done yet. I'm just going to show you what I did with the first card. This is how I put my tokens. With the second card though, I'm thinking of changing it because, as you can see, she gets a 20 boost on all her stats, which means you are not penalised for putting tokens on one of her weaker stats. And I'll show you what I mean. If I were to compare that, for example, with another card, which, let's take Wade Barrett, for example. Oh, I can't do Wade Barrett because I've already put his tokens on. Okay, let's take Goldust then. You get 16 power, 17 toughness, 16 speed, and 17 charisma. So if I were to put my tokens like this, as you can see, I lose 2 stat points in the power than I would do if I added it to toughness and charisma. So overall, once the card has been combined and the multiplier has been added and everything, if this card's overall stat points would be 10,000, for example, by doing this, he's going to have less stats than if I did this. So this might be, say, 10,000 total points over here once the two cards are merged. This could give you 9,985, for example. So although it won't be a massive amount of difference, it will be enough that it can make a difference in matches. So for a card like Goldust, I'd say just stick to his 2 stats. I mean, I've done that with my Neville and my Kevin Owens, which I've pro'd recently. And if I just take, for example, Kevin Owens himself here, I've completely gone for power in him and the rest toughness. But 2,735 in power. When he procs, that puts him at just under 3,000, which means if he procs, especially it's in a tag or something like that in King of the Ring, or even in a single match, he would beat someone like Daniel Bryan, he'd beat Chris Jericho, he would beat Kalisto, he'd beat all those event cards which power is not their main characteristic. Yes, he still lose to people like The Rock and that, because people are going to put power in there because they're power cards, so he can't beat them, but he wouldn't beat them anyway. But if I put tokens into his speed and charisma, he's not going to be able to beat those cards regardless, so it just seems a waste to boost up his speed and charisma. You're best off to make him a power and toughness card. And if I'm using him, if it's an exhibition, for example, and a power match comes, I know I'm picking Kevin Owens. That's the key. I'm not going to pick him if it's a speed match. However, with Brie Bella, you do have the option, because she doesn't get penalised in the stats, that you could balance her out a bit more and make her, a little bit more, should we say, kind of able to beat other Bries. So what I might do is, I am tempted to do something like this or this for this card, so that if I come across her in King of the Rings and stuff, she has a chance of beating other Bries in power and toughness. She'll lose them in speed and charisma, but if she procs and the other card doesn't, she'll win. So it might give me an edge against some of the other Bries, while she'll, should hopefully then still be able to beat just the regular Survivor cards, even those that say are power and toughness cards, like a Survivor Nikki Bella. She'll still have enough power and toughness in her to beat those, unless they proc. If they've been weighted and they proc, then she'd lose. But that's what I'm thinking of doing. We'll just wait and see. I'll bring that up in the next video. I'm going to try and keep this one under 5 minutes. Most recent King of the Ring got bumped in the semi-finals. Not going to go there. It's horrible. Won the first game 4-1. Lost the second game from that energising, and I just got energized for the third game, and it just screwed me. But I was with King of the Ring with a guy called Troy, who I think won it, so congratulations. He won the first game anyway. I didn't wait to see how the final rolled out. Be interesting to hear what he did get, but I'll be joining a new one very soon. Let's come down to ring domination now, and the legendary card is Edge. You'll probably be able to find out what the survivor card is just by checking other people's YouTubes. I'm going to be late with this because I said I haven't been well, so there's a good chance a lot of this information is already out there. But we know that this is Edge. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, and this is John Cena. I'm going to just show you something very quickly in a game, okay? This is the deck setup I'm using. I am in Survivor Plus Plus, which means that I will be pulling from my maximum board, but I have put in 3 weaker cards, because if I change these anymore, I drop down into Survivor Plus. So this now will give me an opportunity to pick people in Survivor Plus as opponents, because you've only got to the end of Tuesday to do this, okay? So it's still a 36-yard board, and you've still got to do the legendary, the survivor, and the event card to get the event card, okay? So you still have to go through the same number of cards. It's just half the time. One change they have made, though, is they give you 6 board picks, or 12 with the pick doubler, as opposed to 4 and 8 respectively. However, it still means from time ratio, for the amount of time you've got to do the event and the amount of picks you get, this is still longer than a normal ring domination, because obviously you'd have the 4 days to do it. This only giving you 2 days, so they'd need to give you, in retrospect, they'd have to give you 8 picks or 16 picks to make it basically the same time span. But they haven't. They've only given you 6 and 12. So you want to put in a couple of bad cards so you get an option to, because there's now the Daniel Bryan in to go in the bottom right, which means that the whole tactic of just loading up on the right hand side to begin with, and you can win all your games 5-4 without any problem, isn't going to be as effective. What you want to do is you want to stick in a card that you know you can take back. Now I have done it. Technically I shouldn't have done it this way, because it doesn't really matter. But as I lose Cesaro, and I will win Cesaro back with my Stardust, and then I'll lose Stardust, which I'll hopefully win back with. That's perfect. I'd have preferred he hadn't put Neville down originally, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So we will then win Stardust back with Shawn Michaels. And now this pretty much has me the game, okay? So yeah, so this is what's happening. Flash events now. What do I think of that? Well, I think that this is what they're going to do for the time being. I think it will probably remain that way until season 3. I think they're trying flash events out and that rather than bringing in a new mode. I think when season 3 comes out, a new mode will come out. I think season 3 comes, there'll be basically like my NBA with the Blackout Challenge. They'll bring in something new, so it's not just King of the Ring and exhibition most of the time. There'll be something else you can do in between waiting for events. Some kind of new game mode, whether it offers different rewards, whether it offers special cards or something. They'll do something like that, but I don't think that'll be coming out in this season. I do think we'll get WrestleMania coming up soon, because they're offering you another Survivor card here. So we've just got a Survivor card from Road to Glory. We've got a Survivor card from the team event. You'll get another Survivor card here in this Flash one. You'll get another Survivor card for the Road to Glory coming up on Thursday for that Flash one. There's so many Survivor cards now being thrown around that there has to be a new tier coming pretty soon. So I reckon WrestleMania tier will drop. That'll go through. They'll try flash events and stuff for WrestleMania. It'll be a lot shorter than the Survivor tier, I reckon. Then I think you'll probably see a new season come out. Or a third, they'll put another tier in. Whatever it'll be. Who knows what tier it could be after WrestleMania. It'd be hard to pick another tier after WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is like the main event. Unless they pick something out like something stupid like All Stars or Hall of Fame, or they did a like a sub tier or something like that. So maybe there was cards which were better than standard WrestleMania tier cards. Say they did Hall of Fame, they're better than WrestleMania tier but not quite as good as WrestleMania Pros, something like that. Anyway, I've been MyTyme. I'll be back again once this card is got to show you the John Cena card. Apart from that, take care guys, I'll see you all soon.